Today's video is sponsored by Jackery. So welcome back to Outdoors with the Morgans. So I have a little bit of time this afternoon, not a lot. And I came down here to the pond. I may do a little bit of work down here. I'm not sure yet. I'll show you what's going on here. All this right here is all sediment, and the pond is way down. It's been very dry, and when it rains real hard, we've got all these hills and all these valleys, and this is not your typical pond. In a heavy rainfall, I mean, you could ride a kayak down that little stream right there. You get a lot of water in here in a hurry. So what happens is it brings sediment in, and then it just keeps filling up the pond. You know, the water's running over top of it, drops the sediment off, and it just keeps doing that and will eventually fill the whole pond in. So every once in a while, I need to come down here and clean the back of this out. I'm not sure if I can get out there though or not. Now, you know, the best thing I could do, if I could sit over there with the excavator, I could pull all that material out, cast it over to this side right here, and then from here I could get it, you know, I'm gonna have to handle it a couple times, but I could get it up on top. I just don't think I can set out there. The water's coming in on this side. I wish it was coming in on the other side, and, you know, maybe do this one side at a time. We're gonna walk out there, see what it's like. I don't know. Well, she's pretty soft. Yeah, it's real. Whoa. She's real soft. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. So I've been standing here for like 5 minutes and I haven't come up with a good idea yet. I mean, I have some ideas. If I wanted to devote a lot of time to this, I could saw, you know, like some timbers on the sawmill, bolt them all together, make 3 or 4 swamp mats where I could carry them with the excavator and just keep moving them out in front of me. And I could get, you know, pretty close to the water's edge doing that. But I just can't devote that much time to this right now. At some point, I may be able to do that, but the entire pond needs redone. What I'd like to do is just try to buy some time here and get this sediment out. Another idea, I don't know if this is going to work or not. I mean, what's the worst can happen? I could get the excavator, bring it down here. I could clean out all that sediment right there, okay? I could bench in here a little bit. I don't think it would take too much. There's no trees right there, so I'm not going to kill any trees or deal with any roots. But if I could bench in there, I could reach out here as far as I could, which isn't far, but I could reach out here and clean this one side out, okay? And then I've got I've got one piece of pipe up at the yard. I could just throw that in right here and get the water over on this side, and hopefully that would dry this out some. I don't know if it will or not, but you can see where I just stepped right there. See the water in there? This is all saturated in here. Now, we had some heavy rains about a week and a half ago. I don't know. It can't hurt. Maybe I'll try that. Go get the excavator, bring it down here, bench in here, clean all this out where I can reach. That way, at least, if we have another, you know, if it keeps raining or starts raining real hard, the sediment will be deposited back here where I can get to it instead of running out over top of this and dropping off into the pond. I like a good pond, I do, but they're a pain in the neck. They really are. I mean, not all ponds. A lot of them are very low maintenance, but this is not one of those ponds. Like I said, it gets a lot of water here in a hurry. You know, if you had a pond out in the middle of a field that was spring fed you could get away for years without having to do anything to it. This one here, about every 10 years, you need to redo the entire thing. You just do. The other thing that may work, I'm not sure, I was sitting here debating on what bucket to put on the excavator. I was thinking the 4-foot grading bucket, but I don't know what's in here. If that's some decent material where I bench that in, you know, I may be able to throw that pipe in here, put some of that stuff over top of it, and kind of bridge over this some. That can get sketchy, you know, because what happens when you're digging and you're swinging, you may be able to pull straight out on here. You're not going to go out there, but like straight out on here with the excavator. But when you are digging and swinging and stopping, your tracks are just going like this the entire time. Just, you know, the slightest bit, and you're just digging yourself down in. It's just sinking out of sight. So we're not going to know till we try. Like this is that Japanese stilt grass right here. Probably can't see it, but there's ruts all through here. That water's coming down the trail all the way from up by our house. Comes down here, rips right over the hill here. So when I come down, we'll fix this up first. Get a nice road going down in here. Then we'll see where we're at. I tell you what, the honeymoon period for the Can-Am Defender is pretty much over. This thing is so nice, I have been afraid to use it. I mean, we use it for like trail riding and things like that, nothing too crazy, and I just haven't wanted to hog it all up yet. It's really nice, but I started using it for work more, so pretty soon that whole bed in the back will be filled with tools and stuff, but that's what it's for. I just didn't want to jump right into it. Excavator is out here in the clearing. It's got the rake on it, so I'll put the I think I'll put the 30-inch bucket on instead of the grading bucket. I'm a little below half tank. We're going to fill this up before we head over the hill. You know, most times when I start, you know, just a little project like this, I have a pretty good idea how it's going to work out and what it's going to look like when I'm done. This is not one of those times. I'm not sure about this. All right, I got my bucket on, I got my pipe. The pipe's not real big, it's probably only about 9 feet, but it should do what we need. I wanted to mention, when I bought my first excavator, the 57-4, I was going to get a 24-inch bucket, not a 30. I thought a 30 might be a little bit much for it, but I talked to some guys that had them, and they said it handles the 30-inch no problem at all, and they were correct. Even like digging shale, it does just fine. And the thing is, it's deceiving. This is a 30-inch wide bucket. I have a 4-foot grading bucket, but this handles way much more material because it's much deeper. So in other words, if you're just baling dirt, I can move a lot faster with this bucket, a 30-inch, than a 48-inch grading bucket. I mentioned today's video was sponsored by Jackery. Wait till you see this. Now this is the Jackery 2000 Plus solar generator. I showed you this about a month ago. It's fantastic. I use it all the time. I use this down at the wood yard. I used it to run a sound system at a birthday party. Very handy to have around. So this is your ultimate home backup power solution. This is designed to support a wide range of devices up to 6,000 watts with its 2 to 24 kilowatt hour expandable capacity. It's equipped with a rapid solar recharge. When plugged in, it reaches full charge in less than 2 hours. So what you're looking at here, this is the Jackery Explorer 2000 Plus. Now this is an additional Jackery Battery Pack 2000 Plus. This can sit right on top of this for additional power, plugs right into the lower unit. Now this right here is the coolest thing I've seen in a long time. This is the Creality K1C 3D printer. The printing filament, it goes right here, feeds right through here into the machine. We wanted to try running the 3D printer with the Jackery to see how it did, and it works great. I mean, think about it. Mass power outage, and you could 3D print. It has a super fast printing speed, has an AI camera that will alert you if an error occurs. It also supports real-time monitoring and creates a time lapse of the project that you can share. It's got a clog-free extruder kit, fully enclosed printer, and a smart control 4.3-inch HD resolution touchscreen, and supports a wide range of filaments. So Levi got all this up and running this morning. What was the learning curve like?
I was very surprised. I've put together a lot of things and instructions that are really difficult. This was a breeze, actually. So it was really easy. Just follow the instructions, and then the app walks you right through it. And
yeah, and you were printing in a matter of an hour. That's unboxing and everything.
Yeah, and I was taking my time because it's nice, it's new, you know. But I didn't want to break something, you know, drop it, right? But it was really easy. Yeah.
Well, if you want any information on either of these, there will be a link in the description and a pinned comment as well. Gotta get organized here. This thing has a nice little phone holder in it. As soon as you go over the hill, everything you think you had in place ends up rolling onto the floor. All right, let's see what happens. I'm just gonna kind of bleed this road down as I go down. Smooth it up a little bit. Have to back up a hair. Set that pipe right there for now. We're going to kind of figure this out as we go. I'm going to want to separate like good dry dirt and wet sloppy stuff. So I'll take like a little off the top, see what it looks like. Now from there, if I get a pile there, I can sit up there behind me and kind of cast it out of the way. Done, like right here where I'm sitting, if I had a big pile here, I can come down this path with the skid loader to gather it up and get rid of it. I don't want to make this pile too big because I'm going to be cutting right below it here in a little bit. All right, change of plans here, I think. I got the pipe in. I got some dry dirt on top of it. I was hoping to kind of keep working my way out here, but that's not going to happen. This is really soft in here. So I think my best bet is to come ahead just a little bit more and reach as far out here as I can. And I can even just bale dirt to that side. I can get everything if it's on that side. Over here is the problem. So I'd like to get the water coming this side over here. Even if I have to just pile dirt up on this side, I can take care of that later. But if I can get the water over here and let this dry out some, I think I can get it cleaned out. It's not all going to happen today. There's no way. But like right in here, there's probably 1.5 feet, 2 feet of material needs to come out of here. That is all stuff that washed in here. Worst case scenario, if we get a big rain before I have it all done, the sediment will build up back here again and not out there. Let's see what happens here. All right, there is way more in here than what I thought. You can kind of see, I think you can see on camera, you can see the clay, you know, I'm at the bottom, but from there up is all like silt and sediment, okay? So I'm trying to get the sediment out of there. So what I'm working on here is get the stream, you know, it's gonna rain, over on this side, over here. I can get a little bit more, I can reach a little bit more right here, then this is all gonna fill up, and it should start running down this side. Even if I have to get in here with a shovel, just enough to keep the water on this side. If I can do that, you know, then have 3-4 days of dry weather, I should be able to get the rest of this out of here. The key is to get it all over to this side. I can deal with it if it's over there. Over here, not so much. This whole thing is just saturated in here. The pipe that I'm sitting on is actually working. There's water running through it, but it's going to get clogged up here in a little bit. I can't do anything about that. Ooh, there's a lot of water running in here now. It's going where I want though. I have a real busy week next week. You'll see all that next weekend. But I think the following week I'm going to get some pipe and fix the spillway on this pond. Same as back here though. I'm not going to get real carried away. Just trying to buy a couple years of time before you redo the whole thing. Some people ask why I even fool with it. It's actually a good question, but when it's nice, you know, when everything's working down here, it's actually really nice. The grandkids like fishing here. It's nice having a pond. It's not so nice so when you get, you know, 3 or 4 inches of rainfall in a day and everything floods and gets torn up. But that is just part of it. Yeah, this clay here, this stuff will definitely hold water, that's for sure. I think this pond was originally built, I don't know, maybe in the 50s, and it was completely filled in, like where I'm sitting right here, completely, all the way to the top of the breastwork, for the reasons that I went over earlier. It just fills up, starts at the back, works its way all the way to the front. And then about, I don't know how long ago, 10 years ago, I got a Cat 215 excavator. I was going to rent one. I was going to rent a machine, and the owner of the company that I worked for, he got wind of it, that I was going to rent a machine, and he said, "What are you doing with it?" And I told him. He said, "You're not doing that." And he said, "We had a Cat 215 sitting in the yard, and it was old, and it was pretty rough, but it worked great. Didn't have much swing power, but I dug this entire pond out with that machine." And I got some pictures somewhere. I don't know if I'll be able to find them. I rented a skid loader. I mean, I was down to where I was running a skid loader, cleaning up the bottom of it. Had an old dump truck, hauled about 300 loads out of here. But yeah, that's how I dug it out. That might even been 12 years ago. I don't even know. I'm not good at that. I remember Melissa's grandfather. Like, I can remember phone numbers from when I was a kid, all my friends. You could tell me your phone number today and I would remember that before I would remember your name. But for some reason, dates, Melissa's grandpa, I remember, you know, you could walk around his farm and he'd tell you, "I bought that baler in, you know, 62. I bought this that year. I built this building that year." I have no idea. All I know is time just keeps moving faster and faster. But this right here, this is kind of relaxing for me. I enjoy this kind of stuff. Kind of like therapy. Get in a machine and dig a little bit. I need to pull this machine ahead about another foot. Maybe not even quite that far. Let's see what happens. I'm going to back up a little. I'll push a little material out in front of me. A lot of people have been worried about this pond. There's always comments about the pond. When am I going to do this or that or the other? And there's just a lot of other stuff that takes your time. Maybe when I retire. Boy, this thing's smooth. This excavator. I mean, smooth. I'm going to have to get all that I can get from right here. Like I said, we're going to have a little pond behind the big pond. When I had that Cat 215, it was soft, not near as soft as this. But on that far side over there, I dug into the hillside and I got a bunch of shale. And I like kind of bridged over top of it and was able to come out, you know, favoring that one side over there, and dug the entire thing out. I'd bail everything over by the dam, and then I got the dump truck on the low side. That was a workout. You jump from the excavator into the dump truck, go dump, back into the excavator. I think it took me 6 weeks to do it, and that was, you know, just evenings and weekends, and then you always have a few rain days. But yeah, 6 weeks it took. Back then I didn't have, you know, I had a full-time job, but I really didn't have near as much going on as we do today, like with the channel and everything. So you kind of had time just to stick with something like that, which is what I did. And what it took to get it done. Getting kind of close to that camera over there. I'm gonna have to get out and move it, or I'll forget about it and it'll be in this pile of mess here. There's way more in here than what I thought. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here. It's like a combination of the silt that I talked about, which is like dirt and tiny little rocks, you know, that wash in here. They wash off the surface down the stream and get deposited here. You got that, and then you have like a lot of organic material that was, you know, decomposed leaves. And you know, it's nice, you get this in that pile over there, it really doesn't take long to bleed out of there. It'll drain out and it'll actually dry up. You just have to pile it up and forget about it for a while. I'm gonna move that camera out of the way. I'll put you on time lapse for a bit. I'm only gonna be able to do about another hour's worth of digging and I'll be out of here. But the water will all be on that side, and then we'll wait till that fills up and we'll see where it's running from that point. But this isn't exactly how I wanted to do this, but I think it was my best option. Alright, I've done pretty good so far. Did not even get the machine all hogged up. I'll show you where I'm at here. I can sit, you know, up in here and start, you know, you got to double handle this dirt, but I can take this stuff and start stockpiling it where the excavator is. So I'm going to let this drain out a little bit, like today and tonight. Later this weekend, I'll get rid of some of this. But that's how deep I need to go. You can see the clay in there. That was the old clay liner, but there's a good 3 feet of material in there, way more than what I thought. This will fill with water here. Once that fills up, we'll see where it goes after that. But that'll help dry all this up over here. What my thinking is, get this out of here, water on that side. I should be able to go out here and pull the rest of that stuff back. That's the tough spot over in there. But yeah, there's a lot of material in here to come out, but it's coming. But anyway, I think that's about it for today's video. I appreciate y'all being here, and I will catch you on the next one.